Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of Good Night Meditation. It's lovely to have you here. Hope you are enjoying your practices and that it's becoming a bit easier and more deep as you practice. Today, we're going to explore the question of why we need to know the Supreme Father. What benefit is there for us, and is it really necessary? Growing up, most of us have had different experiences and understanding of who the Supreme Father is through our different traditions and faiths and teachings. And that may have left different impressions and feelings towards this being. And ultimately, if we look at the world today, what we can see is that regardless of those feelings, when there's a serious situation or a dire need, our mind goes up to that being, however we may understand him. And so today, we will use a reference of maybe a familiar story to kind of explain how this process of remembrance happens. So the story goes that there was once a prince who was separated from his kingdom. And along that process, he lost memory of who he was and where he came from, and ended up having to basically fend for himself to survive by begging on the streets. And one day, his father, the king, comes to find him and sees him fighting with some other people who are trying to steal the coins that he had begged for. And in that scene, the king comes up to his son and tries to explain to him that he is not a beggar, that he is a prince. He doesn't need these coins, that he belongs to a kingdom. And he's the heir to that kingdom. And in the beginning, it's really hard for this son to accept what is being said to him because it's so different from the reality that he is experiencing at that moment, which is not very different from the experience that we may have if someone came up to us and said the same thing. So the king decides the only way he can help his son to possibly recollect and come back to his full awareness of who he was to bring him back to the kingdom and show him where he grew up and the experiences that he had, to share those stories and introduce him to the bigger family. And so this is how, over time, the prince was able to recollect his true origins and come to an understanding that what he was doing, living as a beggar, was because he had forgotten who he was and not something that was necessary for him to do. So the story may resonate with us in many ways, in that we too have forgotten our true origins and who we belong to. And the result or the effect of this is that we also have become beggars in many ways. Beggars for maybe not physical things, but beggars for spiritual aspects of experiences that we're trying to gain through physical things and relationships. If we think about it, in many ways, we are beggars for respect, beggars for love, beggars for happiness, even beggars for peace and comfort, contentment. So, looking at these scenes around us right now, it's easy to see that we need the help of the Supreme Being, the one Father of all souls, because He is the one that has the full memory of who we are as souls, because He never develops the amnesia. So He's able to remind us when we come into that connection with Him of who we are fully and truly. And that's the gift, the inheritance of His properties, the properties that He holds, of that eternal peace, the unlimited love, and the abundance of joy that we all have rights to as His children. So let's use this next few moments to come into that awareness fully, to see if we can remember and reconnect with that deep feeling of abundance, of all these things that we're searching for through the physical world. As always, take a moment to check that the body is completely relaxed. That the breathing is natural and deep. That the mind is focused. Alert. And aware of the inner being. The one that's listening and seeing and understanding. That silent observer, that living, conscious, invisible light of imperishable energy. being of peace in the land of peace, at home of silence, and stillness, home beyond sound. The golden red light like the sunset sky. See the self, if it helps, as a sparkling tiny star in the sky. In complete silence and stillness. Experiencing deep serenity, stability, as we come fully into this awareness. We are welcomed by that divine embrace, the Supreme Being, our spiritual Father. The One who remembers the original state of each soul and recognizes the soul separate from their part. And as he welcomes the soul, complete acceptance, and unconditional love, a natural joy fills the heart, and the soul feels completely safe, completely cared for, completely content. And staying in this space as long as needed. To remember clearly that we are divine beings like our Father. Royal beings of eternal light, that are naturally innocent, naturally gentle, and naturally compassionate beings of love. With love for all living lights. And the Supreme Being, the Father and Mother, who holds that title because he uplifts and benefits each child. By bringing them back to their original awareness, their original truth. He gives them back their inheritance, their right to their original qualities, that nature of innocence, love, joy, So when ready, taking a gentle breath, come back to the awareness of the room and our surroundings. Holding closely that experience of love and acceptance that reawakened awareness of the real being, that royal being that belongs to the spiritual kingdom, the spiritual Father, always. So coming back, we can continue to enjoy that experience of home and that connection and reconnection. And even as we interact with others throughout the day, just holding that awareness of our experience can help the souls we connect with to slowly remember who they are as royal divine beings. belong to the royal family of souls. So enjoy your evening until we meet again. Good night. Om Shanti.